GJRB News Desk. I'm Gary J. Russen. This is News and Comment. Coming up this hour are some of the stories we're covering for you in the GJRB News Desk this afternoon. The California emissions story is part of President Trump, who's revoking the state's authority to set its own emission standards. We'll have that story. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in Saudi Arabia after an attack on an oil plant is under investigation. And President Trump has picked his security advisor. And we'll have that story plus more. This is GJRB News and Comment. I'm Gary J. Russen. Starting off our news this afternoon, as I said before, President Trump right now has said that the California emissions today, President Trump is revoking California's authority to set its own emission standards. We get this report from Jessica Rosenthal.
California's Attorney General said they will explore their legal options here, promising to fight President Trump's decision to revoke California's waiver. This waiver has allowed the state to have stricter vehicle emission standards, and several other states have adopted California's lead. Automakers do comply. Governor Gavin Newsom said California will win this fight.
I don't know what the hell has happened to the Republican Party. And by the way, where is the Republican Party right now? Why aren't they pushing back? They believe in federalism. They believe in state rights. At least they assert that. And they're nowhere to be found.
The president tweeted that revoking the waiver will allow less expensive cars to be produced and that automakers should seize this opportunity now or they will be out of business.
And, of course, I pull out the wrong document. Okay, the waiver is under a Clean Air, allowing for this, I would think a Clean Air Act, allowing it to set standards tighter than the federal standards, which have been adapted more than 12 states. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo now is in Saudi Arabia after an attack on an oil plant, which is under investigation. We get this report now from Fox News' Simon Owen.
Saudi Arabia is pointing a finger in Iran's direction, showing reporters what it says are the remnants of weapons used in the weekend attacks and identifying those weapons as Iranian drones and cruise missiles. Military spokesperson Colonel Turki Al-Malki.
All the components that we have recovered and we have analyzed through our expert, it shows the capability of the Iranian regime.
But the colonel stopping short of directly accusing Iran of launching the attacks.
And President Trump is telling the Treasury Department to ramp up the sanctions in Iran. Meanwhile, President Trump has picked his new security advisor. His name is Robert O'Brien. He's the State Department's top hostage affairs official who became Trump's fourth security advisor. And in other news, veteran reporter at ABC and NPR reporter has died. Cokie Roberts, who's the daughter of Hale Boggs, who served in the House of Representatives. Roberts was 75 years old. And let's see, we'll talk about that coming up in more news. Some more. Right now, let's take a look at the stock market this hour. We're going to refresh that page and get the closing stock market report for today from the GJRB CNN ticker. As soon as this kind of reloads itself here, because sometimes it takes forever to do that. While we're doing that, I want to remind you that coming up we'll have some more interesting stories as we continue to scroll through social media and more news and commentary here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. It's taking forever for this stupid thing to load. Come on now. Can't take that long. This is going to have to make sure that's ready in the next hour. Okay, here we go. Here's today's closing stock markets. For today, Wednesday's closing, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 36 points. The NASDAQ down 8.62. S&P up 3. And porn star Jessica James was found dead at her California home, according to the TMZ. A friend went to check on her and her San Fernando Valley home Tuesday afternoon and found James unconscious. James was reportedly had a heart attack. When first responders arrived, she was pronounced dead at the scene. She was 43 years old. Oh, okay. We got more news. This is news and comment this hour on GJRB Online. It's kind of a sad story there. Porn star too. Someone who is again doing things that again God would not appreciate. So let's hope that she turned her life to Christ in the end. It would be fabulous, wouldn't it? To have that happen. It really would. Okay, let's see. We're going to continue with some of the stories we got coming up from our late-breaking news and stuff from Facebook, and we're going to continue our scroll through social media, and we'll have our birthdays and celebrity birthdays coming up next as we continue the Gary Russen program, midweek edition, here on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the program, wherever you're listening to across America. Here on GJRB Online. We'll be right back with more in just a moment. There's a problem on our roads today, and that is the safety of our children boarding and getting off the bus on busy roads. That problem is drivers who don't stop at a school bus when the arm is out, the lights are flashing, and the stop sign is out, leaving kids in danger of getting hit. That problem is also people who are so much in a hurry to get to work or too busy on their phones to pay attention to what's going on outside their windshield. As a result, someone hits a child getting off the bus. If you pass a school bus with its lights flashing, its arms out, and stop sign flashing, you have committed a stop arm violation. This is the law. Violators could cost you a suspension of your driver's license and a $250 fine. When you see a school bus stopped at the corner, letting off kids, stop 25 feet away from the bus. Don't take that chance. A public service announcement from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and GJRB Online. The blues, the primary start to rock and roll music, the music in which artists express their feelings through music. This is a new blues show featuring the best of the blues, with new emerging artists getting their thrill of hearing their selections played along with the greats like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and Etta James, along with a whole lot more. The doors open soon to the Blues House on GJRB. Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help. And you're listening to the Gary Russen program midweek edition on GJRB Online. In the second hour, we do news and comment and other interesting stories in this hour. And give your chance to wide open for commentary. You could be part of the program by getting into the GJRB Spreaker public site at www.spreaker.com forward slash or backward. I don't know. Anyway, /user /5120525. And you can get on the program. And I, again, post all over the place and get some listener attention. So we're doing that right now. I might even, never know, we might just, I don't know if the lighting in here is at the best. I gotta tell you, I want to warn you, especially if you've been especially if you watched our video on the GJRB TV YouTube channel the other day when I did that other show, the video version. The last Friday, wasn't it, when we did the video version of this program? The picture quality wasn't that good. Because where I'm at, where I stand, especially the lamp in here, which kind of makes me look like a ghost. It does. Yeah, because when it's just the lighting is horrible. And I had to make adjustments, but are not the best adjustments. It's not like I have, I'm doing my show from a well-lighted television production. It's what it is. And so, don't expect miracles here, because let me tell you, like an Kennedy, it's just a matter of being able to do this program and be able to have it work right. It's all part of the fun stuff that I do on this program. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done that video version of this program, and I'm going to keep doing it, but I should really got to clean up a little bit before I do that, because I didn't really look all that good when I did that day, Friday last week. I really didn't. I didn't shave. I was kind of like really sloppy. So sorry about that, folks. But if you are subscribe to the GJRB TV YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, this hour of the Gary Russen program, midweek edition, being brought to you by the GJRB TV YouTube channel, where you can watch the Gary Russen program when we do the video version of that. I have other fun stuff on there. I got some interesting, rare, offbeat videos that are on there. What I call obscure promos and stuff like that from the golden classic age of radio and television. I have some air checks on there from early radio, top 40 radio. Listen to those. I got some really good stuff on there. You have to check it out. That's GJRB TV YouTube channel. And I'm eventually going to be doing the Gary Russen program. This program will still be on there, we're still but other shows are going to be on here as well, including Way Out There and Sports Page. Eventually, we'll be making the rounds on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. So be aware of that. I'm going to be doing that. So keep that in mind. And also Way Out There, and of course Radio, Television, Movie Classics is also going to be on YouTube channel as well. So watch for that. I'll be showing you some of those old classic videos and some of the stuff I play for you on previous shows. We'll play some of the visual parts of some of those and revisit some of the ones we've done so far. So that's coming up. Also on the GJRB TV YouTube channel, this program and other GJRB online network programs are available for you to listen to as well. So some of those that contain music, however, I get flagged for copyright. But if you want those programs to listen to for music and stuff, just let me know, and I will send it to you. Okay, I will make it available to you. All right. But otherwise, it's a great place to be. There'll be other stuff coming up. I have even the church services. I'm going to talk to. I'm trying to talk our Church of Christ into starting a YouTube channel. So if that were to come about, you'll be able to see some of our church services as well. That would be pretty cool. So this is some of the great things. You just get on there. www.youtube.com. Just type in GJRB TV YouTube channel on there. It should take you right into it. Subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell. And when you do that, then whenever we do a live video version of this program and other GJRB programs, you'll get notified that we're on live, so you can watch the program. Okay? And of course, other great podcaster friends of mine are also joining Facebook. One of them was Caramel Conservative, Ed Delgado. He has a YouTube channel, and it's linked to mine too. So when you go into my YouTube channel, just go over there. You'll see his videos, and just subscribe to his channel. He has some really good stuff, and he has a lot of interesting things to say, so check that out. GJRB TV YouTube channel, and it's available right there. Doing 50 minutes of nonstop. I got to quit saying 50. 45 minutes of nonstop talk and music this hour. 45 minutes. And we're just doing that right now. We're in the midst of it, about 16 minutes in. And that means that we talk nonstop. And sometimes play music. Sometimes you never know what can happen in this time slot. So, this particular part. So this 45 minutes of nonstop talk and maybe even music is being brought to you by the GJRB TV YouTube channel. This is really pathetic, sad story here. And this is right here in this state of Iowa. An Iowa man was arrested after he used an axe to hack to death his elderly relative's Labrador. And just why is it with people hurting animals? Here we go. His name was Douglas, and he's going to get it. Douglas Usgard, 21, was taken into custody on Saturday after killing his relatively 14-year-old Labrador, Trina, and 13 Zitzu, Zitzu Bicon Mix, Bichon, Bicon Mix, Maz. He was staying with relatives in Decorah, Iowa at the time. It's unclear what drove him to do this, but he was arrested for 2 counts of animal torture and remains in the county jail awaiting the next court appearance. I'd like to be the one to ask him why he would even do that. I just get tired of, if you're gonna, I don't know, treat animals like that. I'm sorry, I just think it's absolutely wrong. It really is, and I don't know. It just makes me mad when I hear that. I don't want to go any further than that because I like to find a guy and kick him in the skull. Seriously, low-life pig. Meanwhile, in the sports page, Pittsburgh Pirate relief pitcher Felipe Vasquez has admitted to police that he admitted to having sex with a 13-year-old girl in 2017 and exchanged nude photos and videos with the victim. After first communicating with her through text messages on social media. According to a criminal complaint released by the Pennsylvania State Police, Vasquez sat to jail facing multiple felony charges on Wednesday. 28-year-old All-Star claimed initially that he refused to communicate with her due to her age, saying she appeared to be under 16, which is the age of consent in the state. Vasquez told police that he drove to meet her at Scottsdale, Pennsylvania in 2017 when she was 13. It says he pulled that. I don't want to go any further without, figuring out yourself what he did here and attempted to, do something to her. Told police that he had left it because he needed to attend a game that night, according to complaints. Well, you idiot. You would think twice before doing something like that, especially if you are a baseball player headed to a game. The native of Venezuela admitted to continuing to text the girl, who is now 15, and even told the state troopers that he had received the explicit photos of her as recently as July. I don't know. This is terrible. We have, and these are the heroes. A long time ago, the baseball players were the heroes, weren't they? If you're a kid, and quite frankly, if I'm saying this, and I'm going to say it, you're a kid who's a baseball fan, and you you're in Pittsburgh, and you like the Pirates. And you hear about this kind of stuff, you have to wonder, low-life dirtbags like this guy, baseball player, and this is what he does. It's just, this is just pitiful. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, and getting ready to do Weather on the 5s here on GJRB Online. another edition, and we'll do that with the Weather Nation people. And we're going to get that here in just a couple of minutes, as soon as that loads up and ready to go. You're listening to the Gary Russen program, midweek edition on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America. And beautiful sunny day here in Clinton, Iowa. And absolutely fantabulous day. Enjoy the last few days of really nice weather, because I'm sure that you're going to want that back when it gets cold. You know that for a fact. Look at Galveston, Texas. Right now, look at the flooding there. Let's go to Weather Nation.
Flooding nonetheless. It is flooding, and low-lying areas in particular have been suspect, and we kind of knew that would happen, but there are a lot of rivers into the area that are helping the situation out, and as you know, we're talking is if it will pull off to the northeast a little bit more, we could get some relief here in at least Harris County.
Yeah, relief in some areas, and other areas the heavy rain is still yet to come for you. Let's show you the latest statistics for Imelda, which is now moving to the north at 5 miles an hour. The winds are at 30 miles per hour. It is a tropical depression, so it is still kind of hanging on to some of those tropical characteristics, but nonetheless still producing plenty of that heavy rainfall. All the colors you see, those are the brights, oranges and reds, the high cloud tops. Those are, in other words, those heavier bands of rain that are coming in. We've kind of switched the color table on you a little bit to show you the local radar, and David will dive a little bit more into this and a little bit more to the meteorology of it in just a second, but this shows you the big bands of rainfall associated with the center of that tropical depression, which is moving just to the north and east of Houston, moving north through the state, but those bands of rain go all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. These are locations located, shaded in dark green, that have a flash flood watch for the remainder of the night tonight and through a majority of tomorrow. So we still have another about 24 hours with the worst of the weather still around, with the heavy rainfall, an isolated severe thunderstorm in terms of a strong wind gust, and of course that heavy rain resulting in the flooding threat that we have out there. So far, 24-hour rainfall tallies have been upwards of 3 to 7 inches for a lot of places in and around the Houston metro and southeast Texas. You take a closer dive in to some of the rainfall reports, and San Bernard and Texas, 21.37 inches. Sargent at 17.16 inches, even League City at 8.79 inches of rain. A lot of rain, a place that can handle several inches, but even those amounts are going to result in low-lying flooding and high water, some of which rises quickly, so please be on alert for any quickly rising water tonight. Galveston, Texas, this number will go up, but we've got a preliminary rainfall record today, 6.17 inches. Now, where does the rain go? And it's going to go right around the center of that low pressure system and the tropical depression Imelda, which is now moving north through the state, away from the coastline, but still a couple of locations just near Beaumont, Port Arthur, Lake Charles, still could stand the chance to get 3, maybe 5 more inches of rainfall, 5 to 10 more inches in that gray color to the purple maximum there in East Texas. So a lot of times these tropical systems, we talk a lot about the storm surge or the big waves at the coast, but the inland flooding threat is something that almost each one of them carries with it as that moves inland. The moisture still continues to move up into the eastern portions of Texas, southwestern portions of Louisiana tonight. That'll be the case for tomorrow, and then by tomorrow night it should start to break apart a little bit as that moves to the north and some drier air works in to replace it. Could use some rainfall, so that's kind of a good thing that it's been dry in this area leading up to it, but still, nonetheless, a lot of rainfall so far this month. This has now put Houston to about double the rainfall that you typically get through about mid-September. Should start to clear out, especially by tomorrow night, if not by Friday. And this weekend, Corpus Christi, things looking a lot brighter, and San Antonio, the same goes for that. So we'll keep you posted on any of those flood alerts. Remember, we're scrolling the latest of any flash flood warnings at the bottom of our screen as they pop up. But once again, as I promised, we'll get you the Viper radar with David. We're tracking these heavy bands of rain. He has a little more detail on those individual bands.
Yeah, we're still watching individual cells as well, Steve, as we look at Houston radar at the moment. Still pretty active all the way up and down the line from Conroe, I-45, going southward into downtown Houston itself. And we have a lot of turbulence into the atmosphere at the moment, and still, I always watch. I've seen several of these in my lifetime that have produced tornadoes, and we're watching that, plus the heavy rainfall that is moving through. The probability of tornadoes typically comes in this kind of situation. In fact, I want to show you something. I'm looking at the radar at the moment. Now, they've not made any calls. I'm just showing you what I see. Velocity data. Look at this little cell down here near Wharton. If that's not a small spout, I don't really know what I'm talking about. That's been there for the last couple of scans now as it was moving from west to east. Right there we had inbound and outbound, and then that is a couplet right there that I'm sure they're watching. And, they're not going to be, these are never typically large tornadoes, by the way. They happen really quickly. Sometimes they can happen, typically it's about 5 or 6 minutes that they last in a tropical system like this, and typically they go underneath the radar beam because they're so low top. These are not huge 50,000 foot storms. These are low topped situations. And by storms, well, we do have lightning there. We have lightning in that one. They're going to be watching that, I think, over the next few moments near Needville and Kendleton, just to the north and east of Wharton. And a couple of more that are down to the south as well that we're looking at. A little bit of rotation up here in this one, just to the east of the city. And that's another area there, too. So we'll watch all this as we go through the remainder of the afternoon. I'm sure they are as well. Let me show you what it looks like as far as the heavy rainfall goes east of I-45, south of New Iberia, over to Baton Rouge. A couple of thunderstorms here just to the west of Lake Pontchartrain that we're looking at, too. We'll go to the New Orleans radar and talk about that. These are thunderstorms south and west of the lake, and as you go east of Gonzales over to Baton Rouge, some of the heavier showers and thunderstorms at the moment sitting there as well. These are very frequent lightning strikes, actually, that have been taking place over the last 45 minutes or so. Looking at the bigger picture nationally, it's pretty dry. In Iowa, we have a couple of scattered thunderstorms that are moving eastward through Iowa. Down into the state of Florida, it's a little stormy here as well. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings just to the east of Tallahassee at the moment on I-10, or southward in Taylor County near Perry, Florida. Weather Nation, been with you through the entirety of this event, and we'll be here through the rest of this evening and tonight as well. Stay with us.
I lost my sight when I was...
Okay, there you go. They said there's some shower. We're going to take a look at that coming up here. Look at the state of Iowa here on the map. Let's see, we got to bring that just back down here a little bit and see what we got here. Looking at the radar on Weather Underground, which I thought maybe I'd be able to see that. Let me see if we can bring it in. I don't know how reliable this radar is. It's not showing anything here in this particular area, so I'm going to kind of see if the state of Iowa would be on here somehow. Okay, let's see. Bring it up there. It looks like if we're looking at it, I'm not seeing that, so I'm going to have to. Let me see if this will play. What is this? Shows the radar anyway. Why don't we refresh that page? Anyway, 83 degrees right now currently in Clinton. We'll take a look at our Clinton forecast, but according to it, 40% chance of precipitation tonight, and it's going to be scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight with a low of 65 degrees, southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll take a look at our Clinton weather forecast coming up next hour when we do the Clinton weather forecast. Weather on the 5s, 25 and 55, past the hour and all music shows, 25, let's try that again. I always screw that up. 25, I should write that down somewhere. 25 and 45 minutes on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows, and that, of course, is going to change eventually when we get to our 3-hour plan. Any time in the hour that ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 minutes past the hour, anytime. So we get into something really huge, a nice big conversation or something going on, then I will do it any time in the hour that ends in 5 if we miss that window. Okay, weather on the 5s right here. Gary J. Russen with you, GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We're doing 45 minutes of nonstop talk. That's what we're doing here. And I hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening across this fine land of ours. The GJRB Online, the Gary Russen program, and, of course, we've had some listeners, I think, in that first hour. I was looking at at my main page, and I was looking at after I posted a few times, there was one listener in the first segment and 2 listeners in the second segment. So you see that matching without, that is really, I'm going to call that the second half. So I'm going to be retitling that. I can go into and edit that. Matter of fact, I should do that right now and call it the second half of the hour. Yeah, I'm going to retitle that second half of the hour. Okay. The hour. Oops. Second half of the hour. Retitle that the second half of the hour so that people know why that's divided. I'm doing it 30 minutes each. Kind of like the way they used to do it on the free plan. Kind of break it up into 30 minutes on each part, and make it so that when I get on the air live, I can extend the hour by flipping it like that, so that I have a full hour by hour type of thing. So that's why I'm doing that. I kind of split the hour up a little bit, and that makes it more easier to when I go and do the program or go through the program to find segments for my because I remember the best of the Gary Russen program. We all recall that, don't we? I haven't done that show in a long time. The reason for that is because it's so hard to pick segments for that program and know where to find it in the hour, especially when I'm doing 45 minutes each. And I'm finding out that it's easier to break it up into hours so that I know what hour that segment is, especially if it's an interesting one. I'll put it in there. So that's what I called it, a second half of the hour. And this is, of course, part 2, which will, when I retitle that one, will be, it'll be segment 2. Okay, so that would be like segment 2. A lot of times, I'll know 2 because it'll go -1 or something. But I always just do the end of the hour. Okay. Which tells me that is what it is, the end of the hour. And when I post it, when we go back on the air after the break, I know where I'm at. See, and it just makes a lot of sense that way. Okay, you're listening to the Gary Russen program, and this is GJRB Online. Let's see if we can get some listeners here and maybe some people in the chat room. You're welcome to be part of the program, and we're doing news and comments, and we're going to do some birthdays coming up this hour as well. And you too can be part of the program. All you got to do is get in. I am the Gary Russen program, GJRB Online. And when you do that, all you have to do is get into my Skype, Gary.Russen on Skype. You can call me that and get on the air. Or you can also visit me by getting in on the, I should re-edit that. And get in by going into the, I lost my train of thought again. Going into my Spreaker account there, and just going into the chat room, or just go into Twitter. I am the Radio Maniac, and when you open up the show title on there, when you see the Antique Radio, the show title is right there posted. Just go in there and click in the widget, and it'll open up, and just hit that comic book icon, and it'll take you right in there. Or if you're listening on MeWe, just click the widget, and it will take you right into the chat room. Now, I think, let me see, did I do that on MeWe? Yeah, I did. This is part 2, so it is on MeWe. So if you're on MeWe, you can just click that link, and that'll take you right into my chat room. And you can drop in and say hi. All right? Okay, you're listening to the Gary Russen program. Thanks a lot for tuning in wherever you're listening to across America. GJRB online here on Spreaker. And weather on the fives. Once or sometimes even twice an hour, I bring you weather from Weather Nation. And give you the weather that way. It's absolutely fabulous. Coming up, we're going to go into Twitter and see what's on there. But I think right now I want to do, while I'm thinking about it, click out of that one because I'm done with it. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know what to do. I want to get into the celebrity birthday segment, which I believe I have on here. Trying to learn how to do this better each time. And it takes practice, but I'm doing it. It's not too bad. I'm looking for the celebrity birthday segments here and see if we can find that. If not, I usually type it into the search engine. Okay, celebrity birthdays for today. Okay, let me see. Okay. And I was right, too, about... I was right about Cokie Roberts. I knew that she was a reporter for NPR because I worked at a public radio station in Pittsburgh back in the 80s. I believe it was. Yeah, back in the 80s. And at that time, she was a reporter for NPR. I was a morning board operator for WDUQ, Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. And she was a reporter at that time on the in National Public Radio. She was doing stories on Morning Edition when I was running board op at WDUQ, Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. And that's how I remember her name. And then I kind of followed her through some radio networks. A lot of I follow her through several radio. I think she was on. I know it was RKO, and there's a bunch of news networks. And then she went to ABC. And when I first saw her on ABC, I said, "Wow, Cokie Roberts. Yeah, I know. She was the news commentator for National Public Radio." And it was absolutely fabulous to know that. Absolutely incredible. So let me do some birthdays now as we continue the Gary Russen program. We're doing nonstop talk here on GJRB Online, and we're going to continue. We're going to be flipping it over for real quick here for a brief station ID. And then we'll be, as we continue the program here on GJRB Online. So why don't we just, real quick, pass along a happy birthday to someone on my Facebook. And I want to wish a happy birthday to Mary Holt. She celebrated her birthday today, so big happy birthday to her. From GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Let's see, she celebrated her birthday with Fred Willard, who turns 86. His career kicked off in 1966. He appeared on various shows, better known as Pistols and Petticoats. And I also remember him being on the TV show Real People. Well, they didn't mention that. That was an NBC program. Frankie Avalon turning 79. Should pull out Frankie Avalon hit. Should have pulled that up. Frankie Avalon. We'll pull up Frankie Avalon. I got one. He's a good one. I played him on Crooners. Well known for playing the teen angel in Grease. Also celebrating the birthday today is Holly Robinson Pete. She turns 55. Originally from Philadelphia. And actress Jada Pinkett Smith turns 48. And James Marsden, 46, well-known, left the Oklahoma State to pursue an acting career. And actor Jason Sudeikis I pronounce it, 44. Other birthdays celebrating today. Robert Blake is 86. Gospel singer Bobby Jones is 81. Actress Beth Grant, 70. And rock musician Carrie Levegrand, 70. And let's see if we can find one more just to for good measure. Someone well known without having to dig too far. Let's see here. Talk show host Sarah Hines, TV's GMA3, and Sarah and Kiki, and she is 42, and actor Patrick Schwarzenegger, 26, and singer Ty Dye, Maddie and Ty, 24. So some of the birthdays celebrated today that Mary, that you're celebrating your birthday with. And one was Robert Blake, famous for his part as Beretta. Yeah, anybody remember Beretta? That was a good cop show. I used to watch that. It used to be on ABC. 1976 had that crazy bird. Remember that Fred? I think that was what the name of the bird was, Fred. Yeah, I remember that show. I used to love to watch that. Beretta. My dad used to call it half a beret or something. Beretta was a great series, though. Why is that show never rerun? You always wonder why some shows never get reruns. I've always wondered that. It's like, why is it that we never... There's some shows that just never go into reruns that should, because there were great shows. And, that are kind of lost in ether. One of them is the show I wish they would put on in reruns, The Rookies. And it's just like lost in the ether. And they did Decades did a marathon of that one weekend. And it's like, here's some lost cop shows that for some reason or another, either MeTV or anyone can't get a license to air. And one of them is that one. For some apparent reason, that's one of those shows I don't think you'll ever see for any reason whatsoever. And it was a good series. 1976. I was in my freshman year in high school. I just started high school that year. The summer of that year, that was a great series. I was watching it. And of course, for a while there, I did have my own TV set, and then it went on the blink, and I lost it. And then I got another one later on, but I remember having a portable TV in my room there for a while, watching Beretta at night. That was a fantabulous series. And it's one of those shows you just never, like I say, never see anymore. For some oddball reason. Just don't know why some shows air in reruns and some don't. Just a mystery that we'll never ever figure out. Anyway, you're listening to the Gary Russen program, and we're going to be taking a brief break. Maybe I ought to. Should have done some tongue exercises before I went on air. Anyway, let's see here. I'm going to go into my bumper music here and get ready for a break, because we're going to have one of those. And continue the Gary Russen program in our last hour. Got some good stuff coming up. We're going to do our shout-outs for Spreaker and see anybody out there, see if anybody listening, and see if we can get some people to listen to our program. So we're going to do that in this hour. And also, we're going to do the Clinton weather forecast. All coming up in the last hour, and we'll continue doing news and seeing anybody out there. One more hour to check in the Gary Russen program and maybe get on the air and stuff. Coming up as we continue the Gary Russen program midweek edition on GJRB.